All right, guys, today we're gonna go over light choice, the reasons why. I'm gonna try to keep it simple. Light choice is based off holster choice for me. And we're talking about out the waistband holsters. The reason I'm making this decision is based off of suppression. Suppressor on the TX22. Suppressor on the Echelon 4.0C. Suppressor on the Glock 19. This is a Gen 2, so there is no rail. I do have a PSA dagger frame coming in. But, and the Hellcat Pro, which I'm waiting on threaded barrel for. This is more so like, hey, you're going hunting, want something lightweight to take with me that's suppressed, to go to the tree stand or blind or wherever you're at with good capacity, or you're hunting a morning hunt and you get done and you get out of your hunting spot and you're walking the woods and you see some game you might want to take on your way out. Run light duty, good little fun gun. Just have the rest of your, enjoy the rest of your evening in the woods. TLR7-X. I could have went with the 7X HL, but putting it on, you got kind of like a flush mount in there, and so that, ooh, good catch. The difference on this is you can see the distance, how much room it's clearance on the trigger guard. I like that fit. This is kind of, it takes up a lot of room in the trigger guard, so you can put the small ones on. That's what I did here. A 1913 number 4 rail mount would go second slot to Echelon 4.0C. It will also go slot directly to the Taurus TX22. And I'm running the small tab for the buttons because of how much the big one goes into the trigger guard. It was kind of the happy medium to get a flush look, a flush mount, without being against the trigger guard and the buttons being in the trigger guard. And having to be able to use one key on 2 different guns. The Hellcat Pro will have its own TLR7-X on it. And so the key for that one is going to be the Universal 2 key. Some people get their lights, they throw away everything and don't even realize, like say you're a Glock guy, you get a stream light, it says it's already set up in Glock platform. You got spare keys. Well, you threw them away and now you're having to order keys. Make sure you check your packages, guys. A lot of people just throw stuff away. Universal 2 key is gonna go to the second slot, the outer slot on the Hellcat Pro. And I get a really good flush mount with the trigger guard. On the small one you can see, and then the big one is super flush. I'll probably end up doing, because it rides like that, I might keep the small one on there for its own light, but then again I might keep these. Like I said, I keep the small one on for the TX22 and the Echelon 4.0 because it sets back in the trigger guard a little more. So I'm indexing on it and I can feel it good. This one feels a little, the small one feels a little far away from trigger guard, and I use that trigger guard as a guide kind of. With this one, it does feel better with the bigger one. So the Pro will get the bigger buttons to index. It just feels better to index that way. And then the TX22 and the Echelon designated light will get these smaller buttons. But that's my reasoning. Hush holsters, like I said, makes a holster that will fit almost every light on the market, and I wanted something that I wasn't jumping lights with different holsters and vice versa. I know I could get the TLR7-X HL, thing that's a little protrudes a little bit more out. It's 1,000 lumens. Not really against it. I just think for the other $50, I think is what it is. It's not that huge of a deal for me. This does what I need it to do. It's a counterweight and a little light. I hardly ever needed light. I've never really used light on my other guns. Playing with the kids every now and then, but aside from that, didn't use it too much for anything other than that. But this is my reason, and hope this helps somebody out there with making a decision. Maybe it doesn't. At a later date, I'll go over suppressors, what I have. I got 5 suppressors, rugged suppressors, and their customer service has been great. Their product has been amazing. I feel like I could use some of this stuff during construction work as good as it's made. I'm waiting on Silence Central to come back in stock with the Surge-X. If you guys are looking for a suppressor, Silence Central just swapped over from U.S. Postal Service to using FedEx now. I did my paperwork on my third suppressor from them. I use Matt as Silencer Central. You can request them. He'll take care of you, send you some little goodies out. And I think from the time my last 2 suppressors I bought were, I bought 2 Oculus, rugged Oculus 22s, and it was 3 weeks from the time I started, when I placed the order, from the time it hit my doorstep. If you guys have a Ring camera, they'll click the Ring camera. You can even verify that order through the Ring camera and tell them you're dead a bird. You don't have to be there like you would assume you have to be. This is a little 22 setup. Like I said, I wanted a level 2 holster where I could run my suppressor and multiple gun platforms, and Hush Holsters kind of does it for me. At $200, you get the leg drop with the holster, or for about $120, you get the holster with the mid drop. But I'm a big leg drop fan, so once you buy that leg drop system with the QRS fork, from there on out, if you need additional holsters, you just buy holsters at $100 and don't have to keep buying the leg platform. So it saves you $100 every purchase you make after the fact. Like I said, hopefully this helps somebody, and hope you guys have a great rest of your week.